Hello friends, I have here since my childhood. If you cannot do it once, try it 100 times. Sometimes Kaliprashanna Ghosh gets very angry because he wrote it. Maybe parents have to hear this advice all the time. I have been reading the poem since childhood but never realized its reality. But today when I hear the story of some people being successful, it seems that it is not wrong. Everything is available if you want. All it takes is concentration behind the asking and the desire to make it come true. And I am going to tell the story of such a person today, the organization of survival life story, which may change your idea about life. There is a saying in our society in old days, after work, free time means nothing more than sitting quietly at home and waiting for death. It is not surprising that most people think so, but it is not that there are no exceptions. Harland is a struggling, energetic and successful entrepreneur. At the age of 65, his life changed in a strange dramatic event. In 1890, Colonel Sanders was born in the American state of Indiana, and the house was 5 kilometers from Henry Valley, Indiana. After losing his father when he was only 6 years old, all the pressures of the world came on his shoulders. When his mother went out to work, Sanders had to watch and listen to his younger brother and sister. He learned to cook very well at the age of 7 because the responsibility of feeding the younger brothers and sisters was on his shoulders. When his mother remarried at the age of 12, he could not spend much time in the shelter of his stepfather. Later, he moved far away with work in a farmhouse. He could not continue his studies for long. After this adverse journey began. His life goes through many ups and downs. Sometimes a farm laborer, a train fireman, sometimes an insurance company salesman, a car tire salesman, a filling station employee, and finally a restaurator. Around 1930, Sanders began selling a variety of foods near a gas station in Kentucky. He used to cook and serve various South American dishes. Gradually, the fame of the food spread around. Gradually transformed the place into a full restaurant. His first success came when he reintroduced his signature cuisine around 1939. He himself developed a pressure cooker that was different from the conventional ones, but the texture of the fried chicken comes out very well in this pressure cooker. Sanders spent the next 10 years quite well. In 1950, the governor of Kentucky gave him the title of colonel, the state's highest honor. Sanders then wore white suit and Kentucky colonel tie for his iconic look, and this outfit makes him one of the icons in the modern youth society. Around 1950, Sanders began to rethink his business. A business friend of his made a deal with Petty Harland to get 4 cents as a royalty on every sale of Kentucky Fried Chicken he made. After the huge success of this deal, Sanders made similar deals with other restaurants. Everything was going well, but suddenly he was forced to sell his restaurant at a huge loss after falling into the trap of acquiring government land. Only the $105 security check remains in hand. But Sanders is not on to concede defeat. He is determined to reinvent the business idea he left behind 4 years ago. He filled his car with pressure cooker, flour, chicken, other ingredients of his own recipe and started traveling from restaurant to restaurant. The objective is the same. If you like his recipe, if you will sign the contract. As easy as the task may sound, it is actually very difficult. He had to go door to door to many restaurants. Some laughed at hearing it, some said it was crazy, and some liked the recipe and refused to make any kind of deal. But he did not stop. His effort turned into a success. By 1963, he had managed to sign contracts with about 600 restaurants. Around October of the same year, he received an application from a wealthy man named Jack C. Mackey to buy the royalty rights to his recipe. family. Did not show any interest at first, but later thought if this recipe office is not kept only as family heirloom and spread all over the world, his success and fame will be eternal. In January 1965, he sold the rights of his recipe for $2 million. According to the agreement, Kentucky Fried Chicken as a company will open its own restaurants worldwide and will not give any concessions regarding the recipe. Sanders will receive a $40,000 lifetime salary, own a majority stake and participate in company promotions as the company's brand ambassador. Until his death in 1980, Sanders traveled miles to promote the value of his handcrafted recipes, never compromised on quality. He always wanted to live in people's minds with his recipes. Time is the proof that his wish has become successfully obtained. Behind the success of Harland Sanders, there are thousands of failure stories such as being kicked out of school at the age of 16, losing 4 jobs at the age of 17, getting married at the age of 18, fathering a daughter at the age of 19, his wife at the age of 20 left her with the daughter, retired from a restaurant at the age of 65 and received a check for $150 for her monthly expenses. He could not find the bottom line, wondering how she would survive without the money. Desperate, he decided to commit suicide and also wrote a suicide note. After writing the suicide note, he realized what he could have done that he had not done. He was sure of one thing, that he could do something that no one else had ever thought of doing, and he could do that job better than anyone else, and that was cooking. However, for that job fell back to cooking again. His culinary appreciation spread to about 147 countries of the world. KFC has spread across more than 29,000 locations. So if you look for something from the mind and stick to it correctly, success will come. Or at the age when he should hide himself from the pain of losing everything, at the age of asserted himself in another dimension in this world with a new enthusiasm and new technique. Therefore, in order to do something in life, the emphasis should be on what you want to do without taking age into account, which was the ideal of Sanders. So friends, if you like the biography of Harland Sanders, who conquered the world at the age of 65 after overcoming hundreds of failures, like, comment and share our video. Please stay tuned by subscribing our Survival Life Story YouTube channel. Thank you for watching the video.